What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now today we're diving further into Phase 4 investments. I've already made one video about Phase 4 investments, and maybe even two depending on when this one comes out, that talks about in general Phase 4 investments, what I would buy now, and in this one we are diving deeper into that topic and talking about even more investments, and a couple of speculative ones that I really want to come out with my opinions on, and tell you if I think they're good or bad, and the reasoning behind that as well. Now, as always, if you want to make more gold in Classic WoW, whether that is Season of Discovery or Cataclysm, I do have some gold making guides. So we have this one right here, my Ultimate Classic WoW gold making guide for Season of Discovery and Classic Era, showing you how I make gold. I currently have over 30,000 gold in Season of Discovery, and I'm sharing everything with you guys, including early access to gold making videos like this one, for example, and my previous investments videos as well. Now, we also have one for Cataclysm, where the Cataclysm is the expansion where I started making a bunch of gold. I know a lot of things from back in the day, and I've been freshening up on my knowledge as well on the beta, doing a bunch of tests, and we've found some really good gold farms in Cataclysm, and we'll be finding even more broken stuff at the beginning of Cataclysm as well. So if you want to min-max your gold making in Cataclysm, check out that gold making guide through the link down below as well. You can check out all of my gold making guides on Gumroad, and in addition to that, we have one exclusive video on Patreon every single month where you can support me on Patreon and get detailed gold making guides back and an exclusive video per month. This month's video has just been uploaded on the 1st of May, and it's absolutely broken. I will never showcase that one on YouTube, so if you want to have that one, it's Patreon is the place to be. And if you do support me on either the Patreons or my gold making guides, I sincerely want to thank you so much. It means a lot to me as a person and a content creator, and I just want to thank you so much. Either way, let's get into some investments talking about Phase 4. Now, based on what I already have in my bags, a couple of you might be suspecting a little bit of what I'm talking about. The first one is going to be the black diamonds. So black diamonds is an item I've been buying a few of, just because they're very cheap on the auction house. Well, right now they are not cheap, because somebody just flipped them this morning apparently. I bought them yesterday, and you can see I bought them for 2 silver each, 2.8 silver each, and 3.4 silver each. So anywhere between 2 silver each and 3.4 silver each. Now somebody has flipped them to 1.77 gold, and I can promise you this will not last for long, because people undercut them again really fast, and these are in very high supply in this phase. So even though I'm telling you that black diamonds could be a good investment, don't buy them if they've been pushed like this. This is an absolutely absurd price, but if you can get them for, like you can see I bought 80 of them for 2 silver each, or 2.8. If you can get them that cheap, I think that is a really low price for the black diamonds. And the thing for black diamonds is that people are doing BRD right now, and they have literally no use case in the current phase. Meanwhile, they have a lot of use cases later down the line, like in the next phase, because they're used in a couple of crafts. They could be used in some future crafts as well, like Blizzard talked about them maybe adding some brand new profession patterns where black diamonds could even be used. And it's already used in 3 crafts, and we have the prismatic diamonds and stuff like that as well. So it goes from having no use case to at least some use case, and depending on what Blizzard does when it comes to the new professions or new recipes, it could have a massive use case. We just don't know. And once again, if you get them for 2.8 silver, that's basically nothing. If you buy 100 of them, that's 2.8 gold, which is really nothing anyways. It's a really low kind of barrier to entry item to jump into when it comes to investments. Now, I already talked about cured rugged hide, so you can take a look at the salt, for example, that I've been buying as well. So we have the deep rock salt, and we have the refined deep rock salt. Now in this case, I would not tell you to buy the deep rock salt, but I would tell you to maybe keep looking at refined deep rock salt. I've already talked about this, but this is like the leatherworking daily cooldown. It's not a daily cooldown, but I refer to everything as a daily cooldown these days. So it has a multiple day cooldown, and people are willing to pay for that cooldown. Now, refined deep rock salt is further used in making cured rugged hide, which is used in a bunch of high level leatherworking craft. Now, as you can see, you can even buy the cured rugged hides for 16.9 gold, and I would be surprised if during phase 4 this does not go up in price by quite a substantial margin. I can see it doubling in price for sure. I can see it tripling in price as well. It is just used in way too many leatherworking crafts to not go up in price. Now, apart from that, you can also buy into rugged hides if they are cheap on your server, because once again, in order to make cured rugged hide, you need to have refined deep rock salt and you need to have rugged hide. That being said, rugged hides, they're massively found whenever you're doing skinning. Meanwhile, refined deep rock salt, like for example, rugged hide has a pretty much endless supply. It just depends on how many people skin and how lucky they get while they're skinning. So it has a lot of supply and a constant supply as well. Meanwhile, refined deep rock salt has a very limited supply based on it having a several day cooldown. I think it is 3 days, so it has a 3-day cooldown, which means that one person can only put up one of them every 3 days, unless they have stockpiled multiple of them, but you get the point. It has a limited demand, which makes it a really good investment item, because once the demand goes up, the limited supply makes it so that the demand could outweigh the supply, in which case the price absolutely skyrockets on that one. Now, keeping in line with the crafts with a daily cooldown, we can also take a look at Feathercloth, which is being turned into mooncloth. Now, the basis of using Feathercloth as an investment here is based on the mooncloth. So Feathercloth, you need to have 2 of them to make a mooncloth. Right now, these are selling for 8 gold, and a mooncloth is selling for, last time I checked, it was over 30. So yeah, 30.36. So you're basically turning 16 gold into 30 gold, but it also has a long cooldown. This one is 4 days, I believe. I have 2 tailors, so I should know about this, but I have an add-on that tracks it anyway, but I think it's 4 days, right? So mooncloth is not really that good for passive gold making right now, but I do think mooncloth can go up in price. Like, mooncloth has a lot of use cases later down the line. So for example, going to Wowhead, it's used in so many high level crafts. It's used in the Ardent Shoulders, Belt of the Archmage for critical strike, Blood Divine set whenever that becomes available, the bottomless bag, 18 slot bag by the way, Flare Core leggings for 43 spell power, Fair Claw robe for 23 spell power, Gloves of Spell Mastery for 2% critical strike for priests, mages and warlocks, and it's even used in the mooncloth bag that you can make literally right now to make more gold as well. It's also used in the Sylvan Crown and even the True Faith vestments, and it's not a small amount either. Like, you need 10 mooncloth in order to make True Faith vestments, and looking back towards Flare Core, you need 8 and 10 for those as well, and for the Bloodwine you need 3, 4 and 3, and for Belt of the Archmage you need 10 of them. So when this one becomes in demand, it's really in demand. And what I can see Blizzard doing here is that, for example, many of these are epics, and they're also used in raids. I can see Blizzard maybe reworking some stats on the crafted BOEs, especially for casters in phase 4, to bring casters more up to speed. So maybe Belt of the Archmage, instead of only giving you 1% critical strike, it also gives you spell power, which makes it really worth crafting, because right now, the critical strike here, this belt used to be a really good belt. Now it's a kind of okay belt, but it's not the best belt, especially if you get like a pre-raid Biss, which has both critical strike and spell power. So I can see Blizzard reworking some of the crafted items here to give you both spell power and critical strike. The same thing goes for the Gloves of Spell Mastery, for example. 2% critical strike is really good, but no spell power is not that good. So I can see them adding spell power to this one as well, just to give you an example of where my head is when it comes to crafted items in phase 4. I can see them doing some changes there to the crafting items overall. Either way, the core message on this one is to maybe buy into mooncloth right now if you want to have even more of them, or buy into Feathercloth if you want to bank on that going up in price, going up in price with the increased price of mooncloth. Or if you have tailors yourself, you can buy the Feathercloth and just start making mooncloth for the next phase. Now, apart from that, there's 2 more investments that I want to talk to you guys about. Number 1 is Devilsaur leather. This one is a very speculative investment, and I would say maybe don't invest into this, and I'll give you my general opinions on why. right now. So the Devilsaur leathers are usually a really good, like the Devilsaur armors are really good in Classic WoW in general. Opening up the page for Wowhead, we can see Devilsaur leggings as an example. They have a lot of attack power and 1% chance to critical strike, and also getting the set bonus gives you 2% hit, which is really one of the many reasons, or one of the major reasons why you wanted to have the set, to get your hit cap. Now in Season of Discovery we have a lot more items out there with hit on them, so we do get hit cap a lot easier than we did back in Classic WoW. And in addition to that, this one is a leg piece and the other one is a gauntlet. Now looking at the plate armor, we need to have the legs in order to get the 3 set bonus, especially for warriors, and the Devilsaur was really used by warriors. It's also used by rogues and feral druids and hunters, for example, but in terms of warriors, their Wailing Berserker's plate armor, the 3 set bonus here is just way too good. Gives you a 3% chance to gain an extra attack on the same target after dealing damage with your weapon, and also the 2 set bonus gives you 2% hit, and they have a massive amounts of stats. Looking at the leg plates, they have another 1% chance to crit, for example, and 21 strength, and the chest plate has 21 strength and 14 agility. So I do think for warriors, for example, they would rather keep using this set instead of swapping over to Devilsaur. Maybe you could make an argument for using Devilsaur gauntlets to get the attack power and 1 critical strike, because the gauntlets are not used in the set item or the set bonus. The core message here is that with the power creep we've been having in Season of Discovery and the powerful items that are available through various amounts of activities in the game, like for example you can do the raid, so you can do Sunken Temple and get really good loot from there. You have crafted items that are really good for you as well, and even through, for example, factions, if you farm the reputations with the Emerald Wardens, you do get a pretty juicy set from the Emerald Wardens as well. Now that's not going to be super insane for some classes out there, and the Devilsaur leather could be better, but the thing is, in Classic WoW, Devilsaur leather was absolutely insane. It's no longer that insane. So the Devilsaur leather market, I think, will be way worse in Season of Discovery than it was in, for example, Classic Era, Classic Hardcore, or any fresh vanilla server out there. Now that being said, this is all up to Blizzard, because what they could do is buff the Devilsaur leathers, like Devilsaur gauntlets or Devilsaur leggings, or even make completely new leatherworking pieces based on Devilsaur. Like I already hinted to earlier in this video, they are looking to add brand new recipes for professions in future phases, either phase 4 or phase 5, or even later down the line as well. So they're looking at making even more brand new items in the end game than we already have. Now if they do that for leatherworking, they could be building further on Devilsaur leather, in which case it's a really good investment right now, but for that reason it's highly speculative. There is one more that I want to talk to you guys about, and that is the Arcane Crystal. If you know, then you know, like Arcane Crystals we can turn into Arcanite bars, and right now with Transmute Master that is really good. So Arcane Crystals are going for 66 gold on my server, and to be fair, the Arcane Crystals are now going for more than the Arcanite bars. So the profit margins from Transmutes is now from proccing extra bars whenever doing transmutes. Doing regular transmutes, you're losing gold every single time, and you have to have Transmute Master to make gold at all from this. And I would say the Arcane Crystals, this could be a good investment for the next phase, but there are a couple of things to think about. Number one, it's easier to farm in high level zones in the next phase. Think about, for example, farming in Winter Spring. That is really dangerous and difficult right now with all of the high level mobs around here. In the next phase, we're going to be level 60, so running laps in Winter Spring will be way easier, in which case you find a lot more rich thorium veins than you do right now. In addition to that, in the next phase, it will be easier to farm when Dire Maul is available. I don't know if they have clarified that will be available next phase, but whenever Dire Maul is available, you can farm them in Dire Maul by doing jump runs, skip runs, stealth runs, the runs to get to the end to farm the rich thoriums, and building even further on this theory, when Dire Maul was out in Classic Era, every single version of Classic, we have bots that are also farming this. And if you have seen, like, I could try to find a clip on the internet, but there are clips out there on the also shady website, but there are some clips out there of bots that are teleporting from the start of the dungeon directly to the mining wains and then going back out. Like, bots in Dire Maul, they are not farming like a regular player would. They are going in, clipping through the ground, so they go through the ground and go directly to the mining wains, and then they go back out. So when Dire Maul becomes available, botting is still a problem in Season of Discovery. I think the Arcane Crystals could be going down in price quite significantly, because the supply just goes up by quite a bit. Now, the demand also goes up, by the way, so it's all about balancing that out and thinking about, will the demand go up more than the supply? Personally, I don't think so, especially whenever Dire Maul becomes available, because once again, bots can literally teleport from the start of the dungeon to the end and grab the mining veins, go back out and reset. It is absolutely ridiculous. Either way, that is pretty much what I have for you today. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments down below. For example, on Devilsaur leather and the Arcane Crystals. What are your opinions on those, like the real opinions for real? What are those? Leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I could be completely wrong. I just don't know. But I'm using the knowledge that I have based on the supply, demand, the botting, everything about the knowledge that I have from Classic WoW, and making an educated guess based on that. So let me know your thoughts as well in the comments down below. As always, if you want to make more gold in Classic WoW, check out my gold making guides or consider supporting me on Patreon. The links will be down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it as well and subscribe for more Classic WoW content. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.